Hey, what's up? Kyle Leon back here with Aaron Guybruss, and we're going to demonstrate some cool tips for you when training major muscle groups that you're going to need to keep in mind to get your maximum results when training these groups. So we're going to start with legs today, and there's a few things I want to point out as I got my monster training partner here, Aaron, going to crush some leg stuff for us. Basically, we're on leg press today, and it doesn't matter if you're doing squats, leg press, whatever. You need to be concentrating on pushing through your heels is the first point, okay, that we want to talk about because of the fact that shifts all the load on your quads where you want it. And the other thing that we need to observe here is the full range of motion, which Aaron is demonstrating quite properly here. The only exception we want to talk about is full range of motion to the point where you feel like your back is going to start coming off. That's when you stop, okay, when your back is going to start coming off of the actual machine. So full range of motion, pushing through the heels, never hands on your legs because that always forces you to cheat. And these are some tips that are going to obviously help you in correcting your form right off the bat for legs. Moving on, we're going to jump over to a couple other cool things for you to show you. Okay, cool. So the next major muscle group that Aaron's going to hammer a few tips for you while I demonstrate is back.
So basically, we're going to start off with the pull down. Now, Kyle's doing a pull down to the front. This can apply to any other pull down, whether it's a close grip, reverse grip, to the back, whatever. The biggest thing to remember is you need to stay in the correct plane of motion to fully put all the load on your lats. Now, the easiest thing to do, and you can watch Kyle do it here, is actually leans into the bar. So instead of leaning back like a lot of guys do, and by doing so you shift the load to other back muscles, he's actually leaning into it, keeping his back perfectly flat. This is what you want to do on every kind of pull down. One other thing to make sure this happens, and you can see Kyle, he's scooched back a bit. So rather than like getting really close to the machine, he's kind of sat back far to make sure that he can actually lean into it and get all the load placed on the lats. One other thing you can see there is when Kyle was going all the way up, his shoulders were reaching up. And that's a very important thing because you want to get a full stretch in the lat. So when that bar is going up, you want to make sure those shoulders are going up. As you're driving it down, just drive those shoulders down. That's going to take the muscle through the full range of motion. One other great back tip is any kind of rows. So whether it's bent over rows, one arm dumbbell rows, any kind of rows you can imagine. One, if it's bent over, definitely do it bent over. But one important thing is think shoulders again. So let those shoulders go forward. Don't just leave them there and do kind of seated row or whatever. Let them go forward. Again, it's going to get a greater stretch to the back, so the rhomboids and the lats, and you'll get a lot more out of the exercise and you'll hit more muscle fibers.
Sweet. Let's get on the chest. All right, cool. So we're on to our last major muscle group, which is chest. And we're going to go over a couple things on bench press, even though we got a really, really in-depth video that has been done on bench press with all kinds of cool tips as far as form, stance, grip, and all kinds of really good things that you can utilize to help increase your bench press. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about talking about load on the chest, creating the maximal time under tension, and correcting a very common mistake that a lot of guys do, and that is, in fact, locking out your elbows like you'll see here. Okay? How many guys in the gym do this? You'll see them under the bench, locking out their elbows, go down, up, lock out, up, lock out. What that's doing, I'm going to pass it over to Aaron, but what that's doing is it's just taking all of the load off your chest whatsoever and decreasing any chance you have at gaining muscular development in the upper chest. I'm going to proceed to be doing the correct form for you while Aaron talks it through.
So one of the most important things to key in here is you want to have constant tension on the muscle. So just like Kyle's earlier point about not locking out, what you want to do is stop about an inch or two short of full extension so you're keeping the tension on the muscle the entire time. So obviously going through the full range of motion, lowering the bar all the way down to the chest, and stopping just short. By doing this and going through the full rep range, you're going to actually put more load on the muscle, actually going to stimulate more testosterone and other hormones that are actually the keys for getting big, and you get the most out of this exercise. So it's a very important point to always remember is to keep the constant tension on the muscle the entire time, regardless of what chest exercise you're doing.
Awesome. So that concludes our video with advanced tips for your chest, back, and legs, and we hope you apply some of those tips to help further your training results in the gym, and you'll see your physique go leaps and bounds from where it is right now if you're not already doing these things. Cool? Hope you enjoyed that. We'll talk to you soon.